That would be Randolph. Ralph is the full name is Randolph, not Ralph in the deep sea fishing business means throwing up that, oh, hello, we're alive. This is the professor with Day Trading for Success. I'm here with the usual suspects. We are going to be doing on Zoom. I have a bunch of people. We're going to be trading the RV strategy, a large share size, 1,500 shares. Most people are trading on Thinkorswim. That's what I am on. Along with at least 15 people. And then somebody, most everybody else is Lightspeed. We are all trading on market. We are all trading at 1,500 shares. Some have alternative routing, some do not. And we're going to be trading from the book Day Trading Volume 1, which I have a link to, that strategy called the RV strategy. So it should be exciting. Our minimum goal is 5K per person for the day. We'll be starting at about just after, like before, around 11:45 East Coast time, United States, on the New York Stock Exchange, which is in just a few minutes. Let me go over what we have here, this mess. So this is a 1-minute chart with a Scalp Pro indicator below. This is a day chart minimized. This is the active trader. This is the level 2. This is a 15-minute chart. This is a 5-minute chart and a 5-minute chart minimized. What we do to set up this strategy is we look at a day chart, and we look at the close of the previous day, and then we look down here at the ATR. Like when I go over that candle, you'll see the ATR is $11.50. So that's roughly $5.75 if you divide it by 2. So you divide that by 2, and then you subtract half of that to get an ATR low, average true range low, and add half to get an ATR high. Now that's half of the range. That's what that is. Now there is a full ATR range, which would be the entire amount upward of $11 straight up from the close, or $11 straight down. The RV strategy uses the half, which thousands and thousands and thousands of traders do, because the logic is, why would it all go only one direction? That's a trend, and we're not looking for a trend with this strategy. We're looking for a consolidation is what we're looking for. Now, how do we do that? How do we find out when to take the trades? By the way, Charlie's handling the chat here. That's the typing that you're hearing, and then everybody is responsible for their own trades. I am not a licensed financial advisor. Please seek the advice of someone licensed before you attempt to follow any of the trading demonstrations I have here. Trade in a simulator first. Make sure that you're getting green. And before you trade with real money, trading is risky. Be very, very careful when you do that. And speak to somebody licensed. Don't just watch a YouTube video like this and try to copy what is done here. So I am going to show you different strategies. Everybody trading with me is responsible for their own trades. I'm doing what they call quarterbacking, which is a profession, and it's traders that can call short-term price action. That's what I do. I call the price action. People, it's up to them whether they want to follow what I say or don't follow. And then I will take trades along with it as a demonstration to show what could happen if you called the price range just perfect. Maybe not perfect, but we'll strive for perfect, but we'll see what happens. So that's kind of more of the setup. Did I cover everything that time? Okay. And I do have a bunch of screens around me with a bunch of people. I traded in a studio, and I do live trading sessions every morning. This month I'm over at the $1 Million Margin Club trading, which are where a lot of the links are to on this video. But normally you'll find me trading at Day Trading for Success, so you should come check it out. It is totally free to trade along with me. I will be trading on streaming low share size. This is high share size. Everybody is registered to trade with this share size. So we'll be starting in just a couple of minutes. So the first thing we do is we set those ATR levels. The next thing you do is you set Fibonacci levels according to the strategy, Day Trading Volume 1, which kind of changed everything when it came out. So you're looking for to mark on a 5-minute 10-day chart. You can see this is marked from low to high over here. Now, it can be from high to low. It's always left to right, though, is how you do it, so whichever the price action is going. And then there is a 2-day marked here on that other 5-minute chart I had, which I went to the pre-market and marked the 2-day. So now you have more support and resistance levels. We're trying to create channels. You can see kind of channels here where the price action is in them, although we just left them and broke the ATR. So we're in a trend. We all decided to trade it anyway. There's a certain criteria that people go by to trade this strategy, and this rated a 7, so that was good enough for us to stay trading with it. Luckily, some of the days picked up back here before this dip because we're looking for consolidation. So what else do I mark besides those fibs and the ATR to help us along? I mark historical data where price action has abruptly stopped and turned around. And sometimes I'll smooth at levels so I catch more. And we're just getting guidelines here, guys. That's what we're doing. So if you don't understand that, watch a bunch of the other videos. These may or may not be respected. I find that they're respected a lot more times than they're not, that people trade with the crowd. They tend to repeat. There's liquidity built up in certain areas where the action has stopped and turned around. So you can kind of count on that happening again. Kind of count on it. Kind of. Not definitely. So that's what we're going to be looking at. I'm going to zoom in on the 5-minute that we're trading right now. I'm glad that it stopped going straight up and it's starting to give us some back and forth. You can see how it respected that level almost perfectly, made a tweezer move. All right, that's the only one so far that's really respected in these levels. This actually, it did it here too. So there's always a little bit, but we're going to be trading on a 1-minute chart. So besides having the scalp Pro indicator here, which is really handy. You can see how it turned blue and you heard a ding. That's when volume picked up in the current way that it was moving, and equated to that you're on a surfboard and you're waiting for that wave to come. You jump on it and then you get off of it before you hit the rock. So it's a short-term trade. If I didn't say it already, we're all trading market. Everybody's trading 1,500 shares, so there's no FOMO. And a lot of people had to do alternative routing to get filled. Thinkorswim isn't going to have a problem filling this. The level 2, remember, you multiply this by 100, and it's only showing about 40% of what's really happening. So, you just have to see as you're taking the trades if you're having a problem with a huge amount of slippage. I will be using the reverse button, which is an advanced way to trade. So keep that in mind. You might not want to do that. And when you look at these these vertical lines are showing you where other traders are trading on different candles and what color are those candles. So it helps with multi-chart alignment. And I'm getting ready to actually go into a move here, guys. I'm actually going to take that off that dip. So I went in a little early. I'm at 234.56. And I'm making sure, I'm doing this mostly to make sure that we're reconciled, which we seem to be. And I have a maximum loss of 1,500 per trade. So don't get freaked out by these numbers. When you have 1,500 shares, these are not high numbers. So you got to keep that in mind, guys. I don't want to lose $1,500 in a trade. I'm just saying I might ride it. And everybody should have a day trading plan. Everybody should have a max loss per trade. And, just trade with your own plan. Log your trades. I mean, I have a lot of videos on this. The whole reason I started a channel and helped do the first book was a logbook to help people log, because I couldn't believe how many people weren't keeping track of their trades. It was freaking me out. So I'm going to be looking at the market maker here, guys. That's what I'm looking at to take my trades. And I like the even dollar, the 35 was interesting there. I'm actually going to reverse right there, guys. So I got it 35.08. So that banked my first $700. Interesting. It's quite a big spread there. I'm not sure it's really going to go down yet, but I'm going to go ahead and take that and hope that we're going to get a recovery one more time, a bounce down, and I'll reverse right back again. I'm just broke 1,000, and I'm going to go ahead and reverse right back. So I got it at 34.79. Actually, I honestly thought I had it higher than that, so that's disturbing to me. So, but that's all right. So now I notice everybody's following me almost exactly, but they're responsible for their, that's why I should have waited. Yeah, I should have waited on that move. Annoying. It channel hopped up here. So it was in this channel. It came down. I thought I was reversing short right at this 35.10. And I don't know if I looked at the bid and not the market maker or if it slipped, but I got a really bad fill, like 21 cents lower than I thought. And that's kind of disturbing to me. So I almost slipped there to get a better position. I think it's going to go down. See how it's swailing down? I don't like my entry right now at 234.79 is what I'm at, and especially as it's the volume is increasing as it goes up, which I don't like. Man, look at this move, huh? This is some big moves. I mean, the big instant moves there. Yeah, because I could have had 100 green and then been riding this up rather than holding a bad position and losing everything I had as it goes up on a short. So, yeah, I just got to hold through this until this starts to make an actual move here because it's kind of all over the board here. No panicking yet. I'm still looking for a swale down. I mean, I'm looking more at this level, this historical data, 234.25 to maybe go long, depending on how strong it is when it hits that. Or is it going to, now that it's done about the same consolidation, is it going to hop down and give us more of an opportunity on a downward, on a short here? You just look at the 15 and the 5, it's just going straight down right now. You can get caught up in this minutia here. See what it's at when we've crossed this next 5 minute. So see what people are seeing on the next 5 minute. They're going to see a big red. The 15 minutes are seeing a big red. So people are going to jump in short. So that's why I'm not trying to ride this back up off this level yet. So because it's happening right at the changeover. So let's see. 4 seconds will be on our last candle here. There we go. Should flip. Having a bit of a Thinkorswim's having a bit of a, yeah, that was like an 8-second delay on the candle. So be careful. I don't know what you guys are doing there. Watch the market maker. We know that's going to be right on. I don't know why the candles are suddenly delaying. That's not a good sign. Yeah, because the volume's not particularly high for that to be happening. I want to see it hit the 5 minute, and so that's at 85. Are we 33, 60, 33, 70? Yeah, no, this is reconciling properly. The some reason the candle isn't reforming. There should be a candle right here now, and it didn't go there. So that's, how many seconds off is that? Again, it was like 8 seconds off. Disturbing. I can definitely trade that way. Sometimes Thinkorswim does this, and it gets very aggravating when it does this. So I'm going to look to bank some money at that level. If it gets us down there, that's at 12 cents, 8 cents. I'm looking at the market maker only right now. Ah, I hit it below, but it didn't pick me up. I was trying to get it below the 33, but I got it at 09. So, oh, no, it's moving on time. Okay. When I'm looking at either my clock messed up or, yeah, no, these are on time. So, you guys, anybody getting weird? No? Okay. I think it's just me. All right. So we're reconciling, okay. It's moving pretty slow, actually. We broke 4K. Excuse me. So we're almost to the goal of 5K a day. We did expect to go way over that with 1,500 shares. So I think most of us think we're going to be closer to 10K. So it looks like it is starting that way, which is good. And we make our weeks, helps us make our weeks nut. Yeah, I'm just going to hold this for a bit. So it's in this channel here now, so I'm just waiting. I was thrown off by what I thought was not reconciling, so I'm just trying to make sure I understand that that's okay now, because I thought I was getting a false reading there of a few seconds, but I wasn't. So something was playing a trick with me. So we just... I need to know what I'm really looking at here before I take the trades. It's very to call the trades. I mean, it's very, very precise what you're looking at. Now, I'm a very indicator-driven trader, and I know a lot of people will follow me even when I say you shouldn't. So I try to be conservative and careful. This strategy is a pretty conservative strategy. You might not think so with 1,500 shares, but it's all perspective, right? You can win on 5 shares or 2,000 shares, and the same with losing. So it's just what you feel comfortable with. So I'm definitely watching the Scalp Pro meter to see how the action is filling within the candle. Those are sellers and these are buyers. This is the percentage inside, and here's the meter. And this is the overall volume. And it's a busy studio, and a bunch of people are trading with me and a bunch not. Now this is my 3rd trading session today. I had a live pre-market session, and then I had near an opening session sort of into like the 10:30 range of trading, 10:30, 11, and then I took a short break, and now I'm back on again for the large. These are all registered large share size traders. We identified AMD as the stock to trade today with the RV strategy, where we're going to get enough price action and volume to fill our orders, as well as with the great thing about large caps is that they're I see that I'm at a level. Guys, I'm waiting it out a little bit. I'm waiting it out a little bit because of the way that it's moving, so you guys can take your trades. I did not reverse there. I could have and banked a bunch of money right there. I could have done it. I just didn't do it yet. Nobody's 100% happy, right? I start to talk and talk about stories or trading, and they think I'm not watching. I live and breathe by this stuff. I can't not watch it, So it's just... Oh, hello. You're going to muse us some good luck today? We need good luck. Now I forgot what I was talking about, right? Because you guys had to go and do that. Yeah, I mean, I think it was about the perspective of the share size only matters to you. If you're nervous and your hands are shaking, then your share size is too high. It's just that simple. So yeah, I am, the way it's stalled there, I am thinking about reversing. I will go ahead and bank that over 5K, but I still think it's going up, so I'm going to look for an opportunity to get back in, going the other way, and I'm hoping that it doesn't go up too fast and mess me up here, that I get more of a dip, because now it's hurting me. If it keeps climbing slowly, it's the kiss of death here, so I might have to take a losing trade. I need it to go down. See the algorithmic move here. There's a lot of sensitivity and a lot of stuff that you won't even get an opportunity on the market maker, which isn't really fair, but it happens. So, should have taken that measly 30 bucks right there. I'm going to take it this time. It's going up still. So I've got it at 42. I banked 5,800. And I do not think this is turning around, and that's why I was happy to get out for. I think I made money on that trade. It was hard to tell though. Yeah, see what's happening. So look to see if it's breaking to 35. See over here on the ask, 235. If you look at the way that the level 2 swales and who's waiting in the pike, that kind of tells you a bit of the direction. As you can see, as it was going up, the volume increased. So there was a lot of movement up a second ago, even though it's turned around right now. I am going to keep riding it high here. I'm at 234.42. Charlie is letting everybody know that. This is when you start looking at patterns too to see. On the 1 minute patterns aren't going to be as trusted as like a 5 minute pattern. Right here, it could be making what some might call a bear, this beginning of a bear flag here. Let's see what happens here. This would be the pole, this would be the flag, but if this goes halfway through the pole, then it's not going to be a bear flag. So kind of waiting to see that, and we're coming up to the 1 hour, guys. So really want to see if we're going up or down at the 1 hour. Now these come with labels too. Nice. Broke the 35 again. It's going to break. If it breaks that historical data, guys. Okay, there it goes. It's another good trade. I'm going to get ready to take a profit here. Let's see how far this goes here. Volume increased as it's going up. I'm not going to reverse yet. Still a minute before we cross that 1 hour. Okay, dropped off a bit there. I could have rode that down, made the money up there, rode the short, and then made money if it's going to keep going up, which to me I think it is. Yeah, see, the clock is messing with me again. I can't wait for my new computer to come. Having one built. Although, you know, platforms only go so fast, but since I have a lot of Zoom up and YouTube streaming and, you know, all kinds of other things, OBS, and it, you know, it eats away at what my memory can handle here. The speed that I can handle, you know. So there it goes. It crossed the 1 hour and it crossed it green. So it's flashing back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and, it really surprised me that it went down on that. That's surprising that it didn't go up. I thought it was going to burst up. So yeah, I lost like $500 both ways on that. Yeah, it's definitely conking out up here. You see how the buyers are just dropping with the volume? Here we go. Now we're back up and now we're cooking. Do the move you're supposed to make on that 1 hour. Come on, you're supposed to burst up there. There you go. You guys doing okay? Nice. It hit the 50 cent. It broke it. Yeah, let's go. Let's get up there. Break that next level. That's at 35.90 or 36. I'm definitely going to flip around there, guys, and bank this again. That's just too much. And then if it keeps going, I'll manage a bad. Yeah, see, I already should have grabbed it. I had 1,700 there a minute ago. Yep, I can see I'm not in the lead. There's somebody over 9K already. Nice. I'm missing some of these moves, right? I'm being a little too conservative here. It's starting to trade like a 5-minute trader, not a nice. There it went. So that kind of pop you're going to want to hang on to a second. See, the volume went up with it. 35.80. 93 for a second. I'll take that. What did I get it at? 94. So I got it at 94, and I almost broke 8,000. So I'm going to manage. If it continues to break up through here, I'm going to reverse. I'm going to hope that it rejects off the 3236 / this historical data, at least for some amount of movement here. I'm just going to, often what I'll do is I'll just step away, stop looking. Got a nice big cushion. In the morning streams, the 10:30 ones, I tend to go in and out. I'm doing that strike and recoil strategy and keeping share size and money really tight for people. And I'm in and out in like 5 to 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. But most of them are, you look for the strike and the recoil, the strike and the recoil. And I talk about how to trade that strategy where you're looking at your level 2 and you just pick a number when it stops, like 65 cents, and see if that moves in the next, count 15 in your mind, see if that moves 10 to 15 cents. So it was at 60, so it moved 10 cents in like 3 seconds there. There you go. There's 20 cents from 50 cents to 20 cents, and I mean up to 70 cents in less than 15 seconds. So if it makes that kind of movement, whether it be on the bid or the ask, it doesn't matter. You can look either. There's not a real scientific way other than your brain to count and see if those numbers moved. And if they move that much, then you know you're getting a retracement that quickly. If it's just going in one direction, that's a trend. You might want to trade it. You just never know when it's going to stop. You never know if you're jumping in right as it's about to stop. But if you get this strike and recoil, this consistent retracement, which usually you get with large caps, you just got to kind of zone in on where those are. And if it channel hops, if it goes 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, when you're only looking for 10 or 15, and it's like, hey, and you might be in it the wrong way, right? You got to like get out unless you're seeing signs of a reversal. You got to get out and then recheck your next, when it strikes, get in the opposite direction that it was moving. If it struck up, so to speak, go short. It went down, go long. You know, because you're waiting for the recoil and then you get out. You don't overstay. You get out. You know, so that's what you try to do. So it is really respecting this 36 level, has fallen off of it. So let's see if it's going to. So it did make kind of a bear flag on the 5-minute, but not really, because this broke halfway. So not really, but if you took it from there, it didn't do it. It's as simple as that. So here you could be making a bull flag on the 1-minute. Let's see. You did make a tweezer move here. I think they're close to 80% accurate. Okay, so now it hopped down through there. So now I'm looking to reverse here, guys. So see if it can hop down to this channel. We got a nice big cushion, so we still got plenty of time. Now, typically, I'll trade between a half hour and 45 minutes per session, depending on how tired I get. Nice. I'm going to take that, guys. I got it at 34.28, right above this line. If it keeps breaking it, I will reverse back. Right now I'm going to manage what I would call a bad position. Well, it's not bad because it's going back up, but I was not sure. So it respected that level. You see that? That's the $0.25. And a lot of people have that level marked from the same way that I marked it, based on it stopping and turning around. And that's why you mark those levels. And it's a certain way to trade. Some people just commit them to memory. The other thing you're doing is you're remembering the whole and half dollars. You've got the whole dollars right here marked for us right on the side here. You might want to remember the half dollars. There's a script that does that. I have a link to it for every single let me just think for a second how I want to play this. So it's doing a tweezer move here. Maybe it's got to close. It's got a 7 seconds to close on a tweezer move here. Let's see, and then I'll call this whether it's going to go up or down. So yeah, I think it's going to continue to go up here, guys. So I'm going to hold this right now. I think this is enough of a retracement up, and the fact that it closed there with a tweezer up off that level, we're going to look for it to go up a little higher. I know Zoom has 0 delay. Some of you are still going through the YouTube connection I have here. So that's going to be probably a 2 to 3 second delay, which kind of sucks if you're yeah, I would look at this level to turn around, honestly. Again, I would look for a rejection here, maybe a little higher, and then reject. If it starts to blow through and make a higher high from over here, then we'll manage the bad position until we get there. Then we might want to take the hit and then or get a restrike, a recoil, and then go go long again. But right now I'll go short off the 236 area, depending on price action here, making a nice strong movement up. Look at the market maker, not your level 2 here, guys. So that's what we're going to get. We broke 12K. We're looking good. There's 36. It's about to hit. So, wow. I'm going to take that. So I got a 36.14. I think that's a good position, but I'm sitting here smiling like I did something good, but maybe it's going to rocket up here still. So let's see. I've got a 236. Now Charlie's letting them know my position here. So the great thing about large caps and mega caps is they just do this all day long. So we just want to catch it the right way. And if we didn't, then we need to get ready to get out. Nobody's going to add to the share position to average their price better at 1,500 shares. That's one of the things people agreed to trade with me, and then also that everybody's the exact same share size. So, and then we do our own thing where we compare who won, a couple of things, not just how much money, who is the most accurate for every trade. So I think I'm at 100% right now. I'm not 100% sure I'm at 100%, but I think I'm at 100%. So most traders will be. So then it'll come down to how much money did you make. Sometimes when you take a lot of little trades, you'll have more money, but then you won't be as accurate. Now, does being accurate really matter over the money? No, unless you have little side bets going. Now, gambling is illegal. I'm not suggesting that that's what's happening here. Remember, I used to travel on the road. Roadies, I used to be a promoter, along with the many other businesses I had. Anything that was fun, I made into a business. That was it. And we'd travel in big, souped up buses and trucks, and people sleep in them and play cards and play video games, watch TV. I mean, they're like mobile homes, but they're trucks converted to mobile homes, so they're even cooler than mobile homes, and buses. And people, before we even got to the next gig, people are playing cards, and big round card tables and stuff, and square rectangle, whatever. The shape doesn't matter. But they'd be going, I'll pay you on my next paycheck. I'll pay you on my next paycheck. I was the guy paying the paychecks, and I was watching this happening, and I'm like, what if you're fired? I'm thinking, what if you don't even have another paycheck? But people would get 3 or 4 paychecks behind. It was like ridiculous. I finally had to outlaw gambling within the actual vehicles traveling. And we used to have 4-hour shifts. You know, you'd drive 4 hours depending on which vehicle you're in. Then you probably wouldn't have to drive again for like 16 hours or something because there's so many people driving. But your shift was 4 hours, and then you get to pick your own music, and you usually have a chatting buddy with you in the cab, and that was a lot of fun. But it reminded me of how much gambling there is off of all the money that was being made with the roadies, because they're making lots of money too. They get a percentage of stuff, and I mean they're doing good. But it was like you lose it all before you even get there. It's like, no, that's not what this is about. And there are definitely people that were better at it. You know what I mean? So it was just not fair. It just was not fair to people. So. I'm looking at the same level, honestly. I know a couple of people were waving. I was watching. I was not intending to get out at this level. I'm looking down here again. I wanted to get down lower to the 34, make some better money. But yeah, it is tempting here, I have to say. Even to take some of these recoils is tempting. Even if we bank this. And then let's see if I bank 15K. I'm going to bank that and then try to catch a recoil and go back short again. I don't think it's done. I'll do it again. So now I banked it and I'm at 35.04 and I banked 15K. So I still think it's going to go down. But at least now, if it does a big sharp move, I've already banked that money. So I should have waited for a little bigger recoil probably than that, but I wasn't trusting that it's not going to do a big drop down here to this tweezer. I'm looking at more like at this tweezer area here. Man, I wonder if that's it, if it's going to stop at this level. Yeah, I'm thinking we might want to do a few more recoils. It's really messing around right here. Spread's getting wider. Yeah, watch this spread, guys. Be careful here. 87. Looking at the market maker, trying to get it a little lower than the 90s in here. God. Yeah, see, there was a couple of times we had some money there for kind of a recoil. It is stalling a lot right there. Made a rickshaw man on the 1 minute. Starting to make a bull flag on the 5 minutes. So this isn't good looking here. It needs to drop here, or I'm losing faith in the downward position here. That it could be stopping ahead of it. Let me just want to get a level here. So it kind of happened here. It's like at the 81. That's an intraday level, which I will not respect very much, but it helps me get, if I'm going to do the recoil. I use this kind of strategy a lot in the recoil strategy. So, yeah, we could have done some recoiling trading right here, and now it's working against us. So that's not good. I'm thinking about I want to reverse soon and just take a lesser loss here, guys. I know that there's a couple people that will just absolutely stick out to 100% accuracy, and I'm struggling with that attitude of like I want to be 100% too, so I don't lose that portion of the bet that's going on. But I would be worried if you're already not accurate, you're not worried about that. I'd be worried about staying short much longer on this move because it broke back up to the 35.10 level. It needs to drop off like quick. It needs to drop off soon here. It keeps stair stepping up. This is not good. Yeah. Should have just taken it down there. I'm going to hold off for a couple more seconds here. Keeps giving me. Yeah, see, that increased as it was going down, so that's a good sign. Okay, so that's good. So after all that pain, I'm not going to get out prematurely. I'll wait a minute. There we go. Here we go. Let's get down to where I wanted you to get down the first. So that's the level I drew. Did you see how it stopped there again? It seems to be stopping at that 81. There it goes. Finally, it broke down. Jeez. Now get down to the 20 to the 34 quarter dollar there. That's what I'm looking to reverse. Wow. That was a big, fast move. I'm going to take it there. 35. Yeah, I was afraid I wouldn't even get it. So that broke 16K at the 35. 34.35 is what I mean, and it kept going, so I could have waited a second and got to this level. Now, will it break down? Because that's far. It's down to the 34 even. Oh, it broke the 34 even. Oh, geez. Did I misplay that? So what do we got here? Average. Really, the 34 is the only thing to look at that's a possibility. Right there. There's no other level that I would worry about. If it keeps breaking that going down, then I worry. I mean, through all that, we did make money. It's just I'm missing a lot of little trades now. If you watch me trade a lot, you know I talk about one specific thing. While you're waiting to make the money, while you're upside down by 100, 200, 500, and you're waiting for it to recover, you lose all those scalps. You can't take any trades. So how much money are you really losing if you just maybe take a loss and then you can take your next one or two trades, you're back to the green and you're able to take 3 or 4 more trades, and now you're way high rather than just sitting in one position waiting and waiting and waiting. Now, only 1-minute traders think that way, or 30-second traders. 5-minute traders don't think that way. So that's a phenomenon you get when you do really tight scalping. You go like, I know I could make money here. I'm leaving money on the table by waiting for this move. And then you fight the boredom that hits you. And then, it's just like, I don't know. There's so many things that's right and wrong with that way of thinking. I mean, it's about making money, right? But geez, it can really mess you up for any long-term moves that you just get messed up. Yeah, I know. I see that. Charlie's mentioning that we are at time from what I would normally trade to go on. I have a real schedule. I have another trading session with a whole another group of people that I have to do, and we are going to make this one available on the channel for the streamers. We're trying to make, back by popular demand, we're trying to make these large share size demonstrations bigger, more available for people, because I've been asked. I thought it would be, it's weird. If you put these out, people, why don't you do low share size? You put low share size, why don't you do high share size? So why do you hold longer and then you don't? Why do you sell so quick? They're all different styles of trading, guys. I do think that the strike and recoil, if you can learn that, then all these other strategies become simple. If you can learn to make money inside the minutia, of all the other of the longer moves, you've done it. You've made it, because then you can, as long as you can, then convince yourself to hold, and that's when you start drawing lines like, okay, I will not get out until right here. I believe this is the level. Then you have to reconvince yourself. But if you're ever in trouble, if you're ever trying to recover quickly, Yeah, I don't know if it's the 35 I want or not. Then having the strike and recoil is a great strategy. If you're ever trying to recover quickly on a scalp, the way it's hitting that, I think I'm going to wait, guys. I'm hoping it's going to make an actual recovery here. But this is what you get with large caps. See this? And not all the time. Sometimes they'll just trend in one direction and you just stop trading it and go find one that isn't doing that. Or ride the trend if you can trust it. If you have a big enough cushion, lower your share size and take that profit and then ride that trend. Now, I trade a lot in the mornings where you'll see me trade like a swing trade. Well, I only go in 25% of the position before it's where it's supposed to be, where I need it to be. But just in case it doesn't go there, I'm in it for a lot less. And then if it keeps going against me, then that's when I would start to add into my full position, getting a better price point, usually looking for a reversal into my direction before I add. Then I might really add fast, like bam, bam, a couple times, 100 shares to 200 to 400, because I'll usually add by doubling the share size so that my price point comes up or down half again as much. Yeah, the 17K is it's just really hard to leave on the table right now. 17K is way better than I thought I'd be doing here today. So this has been a good trading session so far. We are at time technically, guys. I think if it gets to 17K for me again, I'm going to get out. There's going to be some slippage, so I need it to be quite a bit over 17. There's 32. So I'm going to stop, guys. So you guys pick your poison. Obviously, you can trade without me. She will mark. Everybody take a screenshot. As you know, from the time I say I'm out, you take a screenshot, and then we add up the separate tallies from there. But I think everybody made big money today. Is anybody? What's our lowest? Almost 11,000 is our lowest. So everybody's doing real good. 10,800, and then everything else is 12, 13, 15, 21. He won. Damn, it's stopping at that 35, huh? I was thinking it might go to the 36, but there was a lot of trades right here, which I'm sure he just did, and that's why he's 21. Kind of want to see it's, there we go. That's enough. So 17,100. I'm out. Screenshots. She takes an overall zoom shot, but not every. I see a couple of screens are not showing there, so make sure you guys got your screenshots. I hope this was informative to everybody. I had a lot of fun doing it. And this is the RV strategy. I have links to it. Best Loser Wins. Tom Hogarth, another great book. I have a link to that. Trading in the Zone. Mark Douglas. I have a link to that. This is Day Trading Volume 1. We just traded. Have a link to that. Another great book is Day Trading Volume 4, the Candlestick Pattern Playbook. And then there's a lot of custom scripts that you'll see me trade that I code for Charles Schwab Thinkorswim. I'm a coder, and a lot of the prop firms will hire me separately to create indicators for them to help train their people that they are funding. And a lot of those are on the links right on this video. You should check them out. And I'll put a video on here about how prop firm indicators can change your life. Right after the end of this video, you should look for that video. It will be a link to this video. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Be careful out there and go green. I'll talk to you soon.